I used to try to trade trend lines, and let's face it, I was absolutely, undoubtedly horrible at it. Then I figured out this secret technique that allowed me to take it from a non-viable strategy that I couldn't do into a 85+% win rate trading strategy. It has taken my trading to a whole nother level because of the simplicity and easiness of it. Makes it extremely profitable for even the beginner trader. The experienced trader, well, they're gonna make bank. Okay, so I was long into the trend line. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the script now that it's been tapped into and go short. So trend lines kind of have built up a bad reputation over the, let's say, last couple of years here. I think it's just a misunderstanding of them and some relatively bad teachings out there on how to implement them. So most people will go with the trend line strategy, like 3 or more touches is you want to start trading them after 3 or more touches. And then they say the more the better. I think of it the opposite way. After I have seen 4 touches to it, I'm really not interested in that trend line anymore. 4 touches is the max touches I want to be taking and entering on. So I have this saying 4 taps and then blast them. So this is using the trend lines teachings from the other people and using it against them, really, because they're taught to really, you only should be trading them after. You should only trade the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th is what they'll say. But it's totally asinine because the win rate on those is way, way low. It's even below 50%. But the first 4 are 85% win rate. Huge difference there. And this is where we're going to use their bad teachings, their misunderstanding of the market against them. So then when this breaks this here and we have the 4 taps and then it blasts them, it's going to be really explosive out of here because their teachings are wrong and people are entering short. So normally you'll get like kind of like a false reaction here. Price will like come up, hit it, like fake like it's going to work, and then just get it like that. Just to prove it to you, I went ahead and entered short here on a trend line touch. All right, so you can see here that the 4th touch did work beautifully. 4th touch to the trend line here and reject. Why does it work so well? Because it's the 4th touch. It's still in play. You need to go ahead and exit it. And the reason I love trend lines so much is because they're a precision concept. So they're very precise. The risk is very low. It doesn't often overshoot it. Either if you have them correctly drawn on your chart, they very rarely overshoot it. All right, so beautiful, right? So there's a group of traders that hate on trend lines. They despise them. They call them a retail, quote unquote, retail strategy that is for clowns. That's what I always hear them say. Only clowns trade trend lines. But what they don't realize is if you use my 4 taps and then it blasts them, the win rate is 85+%. It's probably even higher than that. From what my live testing in a trading market, it's 85%, which is better than any strategy that they trade. So there it is, guys. Boom. With that being said, I'm looking for like that fake out here, making it seem like it's going to go up, and then it kind of like blasts downward. So I'm going to go ahead and enter short here. So there it goes. So now a good example of the 4 taps, and then that's a wrap, because now if it breaks lower here, it proves exactly what I'm saying. I expected it to break through to the upside, but that's why we need to wait and see proof of it before we just assume that it's going to happen. Let's go to 3-minute here. So there's the break of it, and now we're going to get the flush down. So remember that 4 taps, and then it blasts them. Just say it out loud so you lock it in so you remember it. To test it and see what's up. Don't take my word for it. Go ahead and test trend lines using this, and then see if I'm right. See if it delivers the 85% win rate for you. All right, beautiful trade, huge trade. I caught this to the upside here. Let's put this here. This is the trade I took earlier. risk to reward is insane. So I entered about right there. I risked to right there, about a $8 trade. Now let's flip the script here and look at this short trade I'm in. So I entered right there, and then I risked about 3 points. I'm looking for price head considerably lower here, probably into here-ish. I would say at least here. So that would be a 7R trade. All right, I'm gonna lock this in, take one off on both of my accounts. So I gave you guys proof there, right? I proved that this works. I proved that I don't just talk about it, I do it. My money where my mouth is. It's not a demo trade. As you guys can see, let me pull it up. It's a take profit account. I got orders here with timestamps. It's not demo, it's risk on. I'm actually trading. So I think that's important to note, because it's one thing to do something after the fact. It's completely different to do it in the moment. Now let's show you some examples just to like solidify it in your mind so you can understand what I'm talking about here. So right here you have touch 1, touch 2, touch 3, touch 4, touch 5. Blast it. So it worked great. Each long here worked good, and there's even a one to the top as well. So on a lower time frame, you would have saw touch 1, touch 2, touch 3, touch 4, 5, it broke it. You have another one here, and you guys are seeing how well these actually work when you use this. So what the problem was with people and they don't like them, and I get why they don't like them, is because they were just taught wrong. They were taught to be taking it after 3. That means that they're taking the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and onward. But anything after 4 is likely to fail. And I think it's probably set up that way just to get people where it hurts. So really the only setups that are managed that you can trade are like this one here. That's viable. And then the 4th one, you need to be careful, because a lot of times it's still a great trade, but your expectations need to be lower, and understand that the next time it comes down and touches that trend line, it's not going to hold. It's going to break. So right there, you have another trade. Beautiful, 2 trades out of that one. And the beautiful thing about this is if you know the 5th is going to fail, you can enter in short expecting it to fail. So like let's say you saw the 4th touch here, right here, price comes up, kind of shows some weakness here, right? As it breaks through this candle right here, you can enter short. You only have to risk 5-6 points to catch a really solid move. 6 points of risk, and you could, I don't know how you guys trade, but I would be targeting probably in this area here. So that would be down to here. So 127 points, 10R trade easily. And another great thing about this is it exists on all time frames, right? All time frames do this. So I would just take a picture of this here and like look at it. So you can trade 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this 5th one right here is likely to get blasted through, right? So you can also do it to the downside. We'll just change it over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is what we saw here tonight. So tonight we saw the 5th one right here, which I think I might just have the trend line wrong. Is probably like this. So that's probably what's actually going on here. So then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, never reach the 5th, kind of like how I say it should. So the 5th breaks it. So I would screenshot this so as you guys, so you can lock it in, pause it, and screenshot it. That way you can remember it if you ever get confused or something. And you really only have 2 viable trades. You can't trade the 1st and the 2nd because you don't know that they even exist yet. You have to have 2 connecting points to draw a trend line. So void, viable. Give you guys a chance to win a free account with Bullnox Trader funding. Okay, and to enter into this giveaway, you're going to have to answer this question and subscribe to my newsletter. I'll show you how to subscribe to that. To subscribe to my newsletter, what you have to do to get into the giveaway is you're going to go to here, ignore this one, click here, and then go ahead and subscribe here. All you got to do is just put in your email. And if you've already subscribed, do it again. You'll be sent a quick little like welcome email. Make sure that you then take that welcome email and like star it, save it, so that way my emails don't go to your promotion tab, because they do for some reason. We will announce the winners of the giveaway on a live stream, so make sure you turn your notifications on for my videos. All right, so also you need to answer this question. Do you trade a strategy with an 85% win rate in a live market? So what I mean by that is in a live market with risk on, because backtesting gives the most insane out there cockamamie BS win rates, especially from gurus and stuff like that. They're the worst about being honest, and they'll be like, I wasn't biased when I tested it. But if you want the strategy to work and you're picking out which times it works and which times it doesn't, that in definition is bias. So the only way that you can ensure that you're not doing that is to trade it with money, with risk on. Because if you do that, you're going to make sure that you're taking the best possible entries in the setup 100% to your ability, because you don't want to lose money. That's the only way to test a strategy, in my opinion, and see if it's viable or not, is in a live market with risk on, because you're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that you're trading the strategy to the best of your ability. Otherwise, if you come in here and say you're going to back test what I just taught you here, and you're just like looking for examples, you're probably going to pick and choose ones that look kind of like what I showed you, but they're not exactly at all what I showed you. It's something completely different, and you're going to be looking for examples where I'm wrong. But if you test this, guys, I'm telling you, it is quite amazing, and you're going to find a lot of success with it. So you want to make sure that you give it, like you often see, I'll put another one here just to make sure I'm giving it kind of like a zone there. Say 1, 2, 3, it blasts. 4 comes up and fails for the 5th one. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th fails. So you can take the 4th touch, but my rule is that if it again touches the trend line another time, I get out. I usually flip there. So you can see here the trade's still going beautifully, actually. But let's say, let's see if we can find an example here talking about. So for example, let's say that you have 1, 2, 3, which the third one is the really fire trade. And then you have the 4th touch here. I'll enter short here, but I won't allow it to come back and touch it again. So if I'm entering at the trend line there, when it touches there, my risk is relatively small. And then as it pushes down, I'll take one off, like right as it comes down to this low right here. So then I'll scale out, and then I'll say if it touches it again, I'll just exit full out right there. That way I still get a profit. I'm still in profit. I took one off. I exit my second one here. I still get a lot of profit there. So as you can see here, 1, 2, this 3rd touch. Watch this. So I put my money where my mouth is. 3rd touch, this is the one I always talk about. The one that I like. I went in really heavy, way over what I would normally would, just to like prove a point here. All right, so there you guys go. Another example of how well it works. Here's another example. 1, 2, 3rd tap. That's the money, right? That's the biggest move, the best move. Huge trade. Very small risk. The risk on this trade is 48 would be your entry. 46 would be your stop. You're risking 2 NQ points. Almost unheard of in NASDAQ futures. And even my trade right here, how much did I risk, guys? I risked from 52 to 53.50, a point and a half. I still only risked $180 here because of my ability to use trend lines. There's no fair value gap. There's no nothing except for just a trend line and my balanced area strategy. Okay, another example of the third touch being fired. So 1, 2, 3, get it. And now it's a huge trade, right? So my R&R is probably pretty bomb right here, I'd imagine. Let's go to a long position. And this is risk on, guys. Like same account, same night, same everything. How many trades? I've gotten 3, 4 really, really solid A++ trades tonight in an Asia session. Like, yeah, I mean, so right now it's a 4-hour trade, risking 4.75 points, unheard of in futures with NASDAQ. It's mostly going to be like most people teaching trading are going to tell you to risk 10 plus points. Let's go to my funded Bullnox account here. Beautiful. And then my Top Step X account. Beautiful. Bank, right? The second Top Step account, X account here. Boom. And then my trade day account. Boom. So you have 6 account or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 accounts times 500. We'll say an average of 500, $2,500 in a single trade. I'm looking to exit as it taps up to here. So I used halfback to balance, redelivery theory to catch this trade here. Then 3 tips for you guys. The first one is see it work before entering. That means if a trend line has formed, let's say in this example, you had the 2 touches that you would look for to put them together. Do not enter into the trade until you see it work. So price will come down, see it touch it, and then like see it move up a little bit. That way you can have a really low risk, high reward entry because you enter, your stop loss should go just below that low that was set, not very far below it, maybe a point below it. And then your entries are right here, giving you low risk for the reward of here. So, if that's 3 points, you get 3, 6, 9, 12 points of reward for your 3 points of risk. That is solid trading right there. The second tip is going to be trend lines are dynamic. So a healthy trend works like this. It starts out relatively flat, and then as it goes up, it gets steeper. That's why this tool is here, because of that. This is how a healthy trend will do, just like I just showed you here. It will get steeper as it goes up. So you're going to have to expect that, and you're going to have to be okay with adjusting your trend line as it gets steeper. A not healthy trend is like this, for example. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th touch. So what should I expect to happen? I should expect to move up. So I'm going to get out on that other account real quick. So that was the trade that we entered there with that trend line break earlier. I'm going to go ahead and exit this here and lock it in. And there's another example of what I'm talking about. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th breaks it. Doesn't mean it's going to go all the way up. It just means that it broke the trend. So back to this here. So what I mean by this is that you're going to have to adjust your trend line as it goes up. You should not just put it here and be like, oh, it's going to work, because it's going to change in steepness as it goes up. Eventually, once it starts weakening, you'll have these 3 touches here, and that's why that third one's so powerful. But eventually it's going to come down here, and then you get your 4th touch, and then you get your 5th, and then it breaks it, right? So I would screenshot this as well, guys. This is a great example of what I'm talking about. Steepness, and it will change. Eventually it will change. and then break it. Once it consolidates up here, probably in a lower time frame, you get a consolidation. All right, last tip. Trend lines are a tool, guys. They work best if you use them in conjunction with another strategy. Do not put all your weight into it. Still use another strategy with them. Like I said here, never trust it before seeing it work. Some days are going to work better than others. If you would like to learn more about how I trade, I urge you guys to check out my Discord, which I give analysis. I also do live stream trading Sunday through Friday. You know, we're doing hour and a half live trading sessions where I'm doing exactly what I did here tonight in this video, but in a live setting. So teaching price action and all that. So this week we had a really good week. Didn't have a losing session, live stream session. Tonight's session that we did, we caught this move down, we caught this move up here, and then I gave signals for this one and this one. Even though I don't do signals, like I'm not trying to actively give signals for people to trade, but I want to give signals so people can learn from how I'm looking at the price action. Hopefully that makes sense. It's not a signal service. I don't do that. I'm about teaching traders to trade, not giving signals. Right? I want to make that clear. That's not my thing. It's not what I do. But I do believe that there's a place for live trading sessions where if you're live with me, you can take the trades with me. Absolutely. We had someone today has never passed an evaluation ever. He passed his first evaluation on stream after being in the group for 4 days, I think. This is his first week, so he's been in the group for 4 days. Already passed his first evaluation ever. And now he's building up that confidence in my strategies that are going to allow him to do it on his own. He's probably already doing it on his own. He's probably finding success with it too. And then, all right, guys, and that's a wrap. If you want to learn more about market trends, check out the video in the right-hand corner. It's about market phases.